Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my presentation on social media and the small business scene in Marblehead for the Marblehead Chamber of Commerce. I really appreciate the opportunity to present this to everybody, and I've got to give a little bit of a shout out to my recent UNH graduate, Kaylin Attridge, for helping me put this program together. Pretty interesting that she brought up Canva to me to put this presentation together because it's going to be one of the tools that we talk about and that I've used in a little bit of a different way over the years. So welcome. We're going to start out with a little bit of a little irony in time here.
It was so good, I told you friends about it, and they told you friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. And
that is social media. The commercial was back in the 80s, but it's really, really a direct comparison to what we see the power of social media being, which is word of mouth and word of social media, I guess, to coin a little bit of a new phrase awkwardly. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how you can leverage social media for your advantage with your business in selling your product or services. My why is back in 2008, I saw an article about the Los Angeles Times getting rid of their real estate classified section. And I knew it was coming. It was sort of a sad beginning of a downturn in print advertising. And another thing that I saw was that the Marblehead Reporter and the Salem News were allowing back then, not now, back then, anonymous comments on their blogging posts or their articles, if you will, that they shared online. It was the Wild West of the internet, for sure, especially for social media and blogging. But there was this real community busting, sort of poison out there that was happening for the first time, and I didn't like that either. So I decided to put together a community Facebook page, which helped my business and I thought helped the community. Another thing that we love to do, what we've evolved into, is we are a place to promote our businesses, people and nonprofits, people young and old, nonprofits that are such a vital connection to our community. And of course, our magical mix of the fabric of our community being a good retail community mixed in with a great residential community. So both are actually great. There's a lot of platforms out there. You're going to see in a future slide that we really recommend picking two and delving into those, but find your groove, find your social media platform that you match up with best. Some people might do better with short posts and just a quick picture, which is probably more of an Instagram. Some people, video might be your scene, and Instagram, YouTube, or Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, Facebook. If you're business to business, if you are a business to business business, LinkedIn is great for business postings. There's a lot of great activity on LinkedIn. And then, I don't know, maybe if you're a design company, you throw Pinterest into the mix because you can share even more pictures of your wares. Having a social media presence allows you to build relationships with potential customers and increase your brand awareness. I would also add that you get to build and nourish relationships with your existing customers as well. It's a great way to remind people that you're there. Being on social media enables you to monitor trends of other businesses, taking a look at their strengths and weaknesses, staying aware of their product launches or promotions, just getting a sense of what's going on in your own industry. It's real easy to get into the mindset when you own a small business of just your business. But do this, we all flip through our feeds, sometimes, most of the time, mindlessly, but add a little bit of mindfulness to that and mix up your scrolling by searching out some hashtags that might be connected to your business or your neighbor's business or your community. And it will give you ideas for content. I promise you that. Social media offers an optimal way to promote your community. It's number one on our list, I'll tell you that much. Geographical marketing of other businesses, nonprofit activity, community events, and town or city activity promotes your area, which increases customer awareness and brings people to your business. Again, you got to think a little bit out of the box, but maybe if Seaside Allure sees a ton of people coming in and out of hip baby gear, they might adjust and sell some more kids clothing, or the toy shop might adjust a little bit. We've got these great little pockets of commerce in Marblehead that all feed off each other. And then add community to that. I was on the selectmen's meeting last night, and Melissa Stacy was talking about an event around Halloween, which is going to bring a beer garden and a couple of bands to the downtown area, which is amazing. So if you promote that, you get people to come down, have a good time. You might see them in your door, you might not see them in your door, but there's a good chance you'll see them at your door at another time. And if we promote the community, we promote the vibrancy of the community, and we also get to go out and have a good time. And the more the merrier. Your business's presence on social media increases your brand awareness. It builds recognition and helps build the identity and voice of your products or service. I'm going to give you a great example. My brand on social media is all Marblehead. It doesn't have my name in it. You rarely see my name on social media posts. And the name of my real estate brand is the Attridge Group at William Ravis Real Estate. I did that for a reason, because I like a little bit of a disconnect. I'm not a big self-promoter, believe it or not. I'm lucky that I get to have this pocket of my life and be able to share the good news of Marblehead. Well, I also do a little bit of real estate promotion, which is a hobby for so many, and people are attracted to it. People know that I'm behind all Marblehead, but at the end of the day, that's the brand that I've chosen to run with on social media. Social media creates community. Creating online content that prompts interaction. Something as simple as offering customer service, giveaways, surveys, Instagram or Facebook. You can do this in your stories. It opens the doors for followers to reach out to you. It creates your own sort of microcosm of a community that people really, people that have shared interests are going to show up and be part of your community. They might be nearby and they might be far away, but they'll show up. We're going to also share some statistics. And what I'm reminded when I start to see some of these statistics come up is that the cost of sharing your business on social media is so small, and the impact on your business can be so big that I hate the phrase, but it's a no-brainer. It's something that if you don't feel comfortable with, hire somebody to do it. I can remember back in the 90s and early 2000s where I would spend $60,000 a year. I think that was my max. I spent $60,000 a year in newsprint advertising, Boston Magazine, full page ads in the Reporter, because that's what the advertising platform was. And I was looking for people to see a tiny little square or maybe a page and learn about my services and try to connect with them that way. this is a much warmer approach to customer connections, where people seek you out. People start liking a couple of your posts, you start showing up in their news feed more, and you're building customers, which is great. You're building your community. I'll also add that, you know what, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, this is a good place to invest in your business. Hire somebody to help you do this and help your business. We'll start sharing a little bit of information, and we're gonna get into a little bit of this in the next few slides. Good responsiveness is huge when it comes to interaction on social media. I will be sharing this presentation, so you'll be able to review all this information whenever you want. Social media can be time-consuming, may feel overwhelming if you're juggling content for multiple platforms at a time. An important foundational step when thinking about your social media strategy is your brand's demographic, and then seeing which social platform has the ideal audience that correlates with who you want to follow, your accounts, or become customers. And Kaylin says, try to pick 2 different platforms to have accounts on. Obviously, the 3 primary platforms are Instagram, Facebook. She's throwing in TikTok, which we're going to see some interesting stats on TikTok coming up in just a minute. Other great platforms, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, and you know what? Next week, there'll probably be another couple. Here are some Facebook demographics. Little surprised to see the daily average be 35 minutes, because you're going to see that the numbers go up as we go through some platforms. Instagram, people are spending a little bit more time on Instagram. And again, I think that demographic of age is creeping up. But the big surprise for me was TikTok. Look at the age spread on TikTok, how evenly spread out it is, and that they're spending longer on daily average time spent. Gender is pretty much split 50-50, but I'll tell you, TikTok is a direction that we're going to start going into as we progress through our social media timeline. Progress with progress. So Kaylin said, you know, try to pick two platforms to go off of. I will say they don't always have to be the same 2. If we just stuck with Facebook, you know, we'd be less significant today in our mission for sure. And we definitely wouldn't have the same audience that we have today. So I think it was probably 5 or 6 years ago that we started up Instagram and added that to our platform, while at the same time we got rid of our Facebook group because the interaction was just getting a little too negative when we're trying to share the good of the town. Like I just said, we're gonna kick it up with TikTok, because a lot of people are on that platform. It is a shift to the popularity of video for sure. And it's something that, you know, we haven't done a great job with, and I want to see us do better. So TikTok, here we come. Here are the popular ways to post. Stories seem to be pretty easy. Posting seems to be pretty easy. You know, what's going to take a little bit more time is the videos. Not everybody feels comfortable posting videos, but they are very popular. You can see the last item down here, the YouTube Shorts, which if YouTube is adding a new feature, which I don't know whether they really have yet, adding shorts is a direct rebuttal to the popularity of TikTok, no doubt. And that's why you see Reels on Instagram become more popular. Live videos, you know, I don't think are as effective. Usually people tune into a live event if it's a very time sensitive or relative event that's going on. But again, those convert over to videos after they're live. So It's still good content, still good video. Set standards is very important. Remember, your face on social media is just like somebody walking up to your front door, and it should extol all of the virtues that you set for standards in your business. The doing skip over number one, I just talked about it, but number two, edits. A little bit of a touch up of an image, good grammar and good structure can have a huge impact. And I'm not talking go to Photoshop to edit a photo. All you need to do is brighten it up a little bit, maybe add a little bit of color to it through your phone camera, and makes just that little bit of difference, little bit of refinement that you put into your content. Design, just like decorating a house, things like color palette, font, and logo design, it makes a huge difference. That's another thing that I'd recommend if you're not a professional to reach out and hire somebody to maybe refresh your brand, maybe identify your brand, and work through some of these basic steps of color palette, font, and design. The biggest differentiator of a casual presence versus a growing presence on social media is absolutely consistency. Again, if you don't have the fortitude to do it, hire somebody to do it for you. It's not going to cost you that much. It's certainly a part-time gig for most people, but that consistency is going to allow you to use building blocks, not only in your followers, but in the messaging that you put out there through social media. Engagement metrics are great. I mean, I can tell you that we have, All Marblehead has on Facebook over 8,000 people online at about 5:30 every night. We see about 14,000 people per day on our platform on Facebook. And we dig deep into the insights that we get from each post so that we know who to target. For real estate, it's a little bit different because we have some housing standards in advertising that we need to employ and that Facebook employs for us regarding fair housing and things like that. But you know, if you're selling a dress off the rack or a toy off the shelf, or supper, you can really target your audience. Facebook and all the other platforms know what's in your other tabs in your browser. They know if you're at Williams and Sonoma website all the time getting information, or whether you're browsing for different restaurants, or whether you're browsing for toys or flowers or whatever. So so that allows Facebook and all of the other platforms to go in and target ads if you want to sponsor posts. Engagement is so critical. It's the hidden key to increase your online awareness. Your game plan should include engaging your audience when they engage with you. Promptly answering comments, replies, mentions, and direct messages not only creates a positive experience for your followers, but your platform's algorithm takes notice. They know when you're interacting with your people. I would say that 30% of the game is putting out great content. 60% of the game to enhance your brand awareness, to enhance the customer's experience, to enhance your engagement, is engaging. It's reaching out, and it might be as simple as liking something that somebody else says, or it could be answering a question that they might have in a post, or a reply to a post, or the little smiley emoji with the heart eyes that come through on an Instagram or a Facebook story. Other ways to feed the algorithm in the social media platforms right after you hit post is to add hashtags. Think about the hashtags in your community. Look at other platforms, look at other social media accounts, and see what they are using for hashtags. It even gives you a good idea when you start using hashtags, sort of how many people use that. I know I'm not a big fan of searching with hashtags a lot, but I can tell you the generation before me is. So interact with your people. I mean, God forbid, pick up the phone. If you see a regular customer that comments on something and says that they love it, pick up the phone and give them a call and say, hey, you know what? I have that in your size. Or have you driven by the house? Maybe you want to go take a look at it. The two best things that you can do for your small business is to have a strong and consistent social media presence and a comprehensive Google business page with great information and photography. I've talked a lot about the social media presence, but the Google business page is huge. It's easy, it's free, and if people start seeing you on social media or start talking about your business word of mouth, you can bet that they're going to Google you. And if they can find out when you're open, pictures of your shop so that they can be intrigued to come in, what your phone number is, all sorts of things. You're opening your business to the internet when you do this. So many people use Google. Make your presence stand out. You can either be a one-line website link to your business, or you can show up on the right side of the page with all your pictures, your hours, your telephone number, all that good stuff, and increase your opportunities for more business. We have some tools and resources. As I told you, I was putting this together. I've done a few presentations before, and I think one I did PowerPoint, one I didn't use any slide deck at all, but my daughter said, hey, let's use Canva. And I said, sure. I love it. It's been a great platform. It's a platform that I've used on my phone to build little slideshows and be able to add a little text here and there, maybe for an open house Sunday or something like that. But now I've just learned how to use a platform, but a little bit differently. There are absolutely some more complex programs that you can use. And they're all listed here. Again, I will share this when I'm done so that you can have this list and not have to write it down. And I'm going to give a big shout out for Kaylin. I'm very proud of my youngest, very proud of both daughters, but both daughters are starting their own businesses. Kaylin's is a freelance social media manager. And if you ever need help, she's fantastic. She's given me a little bit of a lesson. For somebody that's been in the game for over 10 years, she's given me quite a few lessons, and we talk about social media all the time. So Kaylin's information is on the bottom there. And now we will do a little bit of question and answer. I'll wrap up the video, but I really thank you for your time. And I really mean it. If you have any questions, if you are part of a business, a nonprofit, or anything else that has to do with Marblehead, never hesitate to reach out. We're always happy to promote. I'd be remiss if I didn't add that Cindy Schieffer is my right hand when it comes to our social media work. There's no way in the world I could ever get all this done that we get done online and keep my business going at the same time. Cindy is there. Cindy and I have great shared vision when it comes to what we post, and we have a great time doing it. So don't hesitate to reach out. And I'd like to thank the Marblehead Chamber of Commerce for putting this on. The Marblehead Chamber of Commerce is a fantastic way to support our community's businesses and promote Marblehead. And I really appreciate the opportunity to have shared this presentation with you today. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you very much.